Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Loud, Confused, and Ready. We are your hosts, Sam,
Cam,
Kip,
Elliot.
So, in this segment, we're going to talk
he's a
about...
dick.
I forgot about this. That guy.
Fuck that guy.
So you always have that and this is only if you have friends.
Right,
You
so
always,
I'm out of this conversation.
yeah, pretty much. Get out, Cam.
Okay, so the one guy that years from now goes back and listens to this, and he's just sitting by himself. It's like, I like these guys' podcasts. I'm gonna go back and listen to some of their older stuff. He listens to the very first one, and he goes, "Oh God, my life is fucking weird." These guys are right. I can't identify with this at all. I don't know anyone.
I identify as a
My cat never trolls me.
I don't know how I can talk about any of these situations without somebody listening to this and getting really upset. That's exactly what
Listen, I want to do a segment later. We'll do it on another show, but of being offended, right? And we'll get to it. But the premise. I know. The premise is that there's no way that anyone can make you do something. There's no way that you can ever be offended by someone. Like someone else cannot make you be offended.
You can never offend someone. Someone can just be offended.
Yes, exactly.
Is the phrase I heard.
Exactly. So with that in mind, that is how I do pretty much everything. I met someone's girlfriend for the first time recently. And I made a drug-related joke, not knowing her past, and she got so mad that she told me, fuck you, fuck off, whatever. Stood up and threw a tantrum in front of my 5-year-old, who also met her for the first time and actually thought that she was great up until that moment, and then stormed out of my house. And I don't care. I just don't.
You shouldn't.
I really don't, and I don't think I can.
There was literally no way you could have known.
Yeah, there's no way I could have known, and even if I did know and I still made that joke, she is an adult, and I am also an adult, and if you're an adult, you should be capable of taking negative...
She's obviously not past it.
Well, that's the thing. Like what's the adult thing to do in that situation if you're her? It's not to throw a tantrum. It's to say. Well, no, it's just to say, hey, man, this is my past, and
you don't even need to say the past is, hey, my past was kind of rough. Can you not make those jokes?
Well, right. You can give as little or as much information as you want.
Yep.
Just say, I'm not comfortable with you saying stuff like that
right.
because of this reason or not because of this reason or whatever. And then that's the point where if you continue to do it, then you say...
Then you're the dick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But you can still do that.
Yeah.
But then the other person makes the choice of, okay, I'm not going to hang out with this guy anymore.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't give a shit what offends me.
You make
or
the joke
doesn't.
and then get confronted immediately, like, what'd you say? Like, what do you mean by that? And then you just say it again.
Getting mad immediately makes no sense to me because, like he said, how would you know?
It's in the intent.
Well, okay.
Like, don't ever say anything about anything because somebody around you might have had that happen.
You're triggering me. You're triggering me with your microaggressions.
Well, right. And that doesn't devalue that. That doesn't devalue her past that you said that thing. It's just...
You can't assume other people are going to cater to that, even if they don't know.
All this until I am the troll friend, I believe, to many people.
Oh,
I believe that because I antagonize, I play the devil's advocate. I normally agree with the people I hang out with, and I still choose the other side, playing devil's advocate, to just mess with them over and over again, and I can do it seriously, which makes them even more upset. And my wife loves it when I do this. Yeah. She's the happiest. It's just great.
Oh yeah.
So that, all that, and me being the troll friend, like I have learned just not to care. And if you don't want,
so what you're telling me is this last section you just wanted to talk about you.
Yeah. Pretty much. Okay.
Your perspective. Well, here's the thing, though. Like, with you... Yeah.
Don't troll me. I don't like microaggressions.
Basically, Sam, fuck you. No, but...
I'm offense.
See, like, because of what I just said, how I feel about people doing that and how I don't get offended by things and, I'm kind of that mindset, I appreciate having somebody around who does that in a social situation. in a gaming situation, let's say we're all playing Smash Brothers, and you found out some way to hack it so that nobody can have fun. That's kind of
You like having them on your side.
Like, maybe don't do that. Well, I don't even, because I'd rather like, because like with Smash Brothers specifically, it kind of always was, if there's a skill difference and somebody's just getting their ass kicked, like that, to me, that's fine. I think that's, because I don't mind being on the other side of it. If I'm getting my ass kicked, I'm like, okay, well, that's, this person's good at this shit, so good for them.
I got my ass kicked every day playing Soul Calibur 3 with Alan and Ben.
Yeah.
Every fucking match until one night it just all clicked. And I became Nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. And if you'd have gone through, if you'd have been like, well, fuck this, I'm never playing this game again because these guys are assholes because they're good at it.
Fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
then you would have never had that moment where you were like, oh, hey, look, I did it. I beat these guys even though they're good. But that's kind of beside the point, I guess. I would rather it be that situation than somebody just going like, I found an exploit and I'm just gonna fuck.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna suck you in as Kirby and jump off and fall all the way down.
I'm gonna pick you up as Donkey Kong and then throw you off the edge, and I'm gonna die too. But it's funny just because you died and you can't play.
Kirby's even worse because it kills you and it doesn't kill Kirby.
Right, exactly.
Fuck Kirby.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so. Like the point of the segment is Kirby's a dick.
Right. Yeah.
Really.
Exactly.
Kirby is that troll.
It's fuck you, Sam. Kirby's a dick.
Yeah, those are my 2 points.
Like if you're playing Tekken and you're just like Eddie and just hitting 2 buttons and you're just spinning a bunch until people are dead.
I'm Kippcaron.
That's one way to play the game.
But that's the thing. Like,
Kippcaron
he's right.
White-haired dude.
If that's the only way you can win the match, then fine. If you're actually experienced at the game and you're just doing it to fuck with somebody,
oh, okay.
That's where the problem lies.
Then you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're doing it because like all I know how to do with Eddie is just mash the fucking button and have him do the same thing.
Either way, though, I mean, the opponent, most likely gets upset. You're just button mashing. You pick the most easy champion.
Well, I guess what it comes down to for me is, and I said this in the lesson, is intent. Whatever your intent is, if you're just trolling somebody to make them really mad, that's a problem to me. If you're trolling them just to kind of agitate them and get under their skin and then once they go, come on, man, you're like, okay, and then you continue on.
Well, right, and it's your friend, and you know what their threshold is. And they
probably laugh.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. There's a
maybe go over the line.
There's 2 things I want to say. The first is that you have to know the difference between etiquette and political correctness, which I don't believe in doing political correctness ever. I believe in etiquette. I believe in understanding, like you said, someone's threshold and not being an asshole and saying, all right,
not going out of the way to say something you know is going to
yes. Or even when they've said, hey, that's enough, and you decide to stop. You're like, well, I obviously don't mean to hurt this person. The intent. The other thing, I forgot. Super. That's awesome. That's pretty good to do.
Good job.
Awesome.
Thanks, right?
You done. No. You done good.
That was me ringing the horn of the thought train. That's still on the tracks.
I will say, on the flip side of that, playing Gears of War number 3 with my buddy Joe and his friends.
Joe Bags?
Just the most fun I've had in game, and
such a freaking ass.
When you play Gears of War, you have to like execute them. They go down and you kill them, and it's 5-on-5. You gotta kill every single one of them. So you get to the last guy, and they're still bleeding out, and they don't bleed out in time. So you just sit there and fuck with them for a while. I've never gotten so much hate mail.
I bet. I would send it to them.
I just kill them with my gun, and I get called like retro scrub, just all these different fucking. I loved it.
Right.
I guess I don't understand what the mechanic is that you're doing. So you hit somebody enough times, they start bleeding out.
Yeah, you shoot them in the head, they're dead. But like if you
so the trolling part is not killing them.
Not killing them right away, so they have have to just sit there and wait and bleed out. And
Instead
then,
of
die slowly respond.
So they respond after
normally, but if it's a game mode where it's like a round where you only get one life, and it's like 5 on 5, okay, we picked a couple off, 2 on 1 now, and then you take down that last one, and he's just hanging there, and then the 2 run around him and just dick around,
circles and like
teabag him, like while he's just like
hilarious.
he's just laying there like dying. Like it can be funny.
Here's a war when like you tap Y and you'll get on top of him and start punching him. If you keep tapping Y, you punch him for longer, but it has an end. So you start, and this is where it gets funny because when you can't just kick them when they're down because you'll kill them. So when somebody starts doing that and hitting Y, then everybody else who's alive starts hitting the melee button. And then you guys are all like kicking him with him. It's the
Oh man!
I wish
I'm pretty
like
sure
I
it's a
had
hate
video
crime.
capture. I wish I had video capture on the 360. I can't wait for Gears 4 because
Dude,
like
because you're going to be able to do the.
I would love to see
Just
that.
Xbox record that.
So I remember the second thing I was gonna say was that when I play devil's advocate and I troll people in real life, right? It's not. I'm all about figuring out why you do what you do. Sure. Me especially. I care a lot about me. I want to know why I believe what I believe and if what I think I believe is actually what it is. And in the same respect, people who I love and actually want to be close to me, I want to make sure that they know why they believe what they believe. Especially when it comes to religion and politics and all those things, because those things should be, in my mind, what you believe or choose not to believe or whatever, those things should be the core of your essence in which you make other choices out. If you don't believe there's a God, or if you believe there might be something up there, agnostic, whatever, or if you believe in Christian or whatever, Muslim, Buddhist, it should be what you decide to make every choice thereafter from. And I think everyone can kind of get behind that.
But being open to changing.
Sort of. Being open to changing your kind of perception on a lot of things, but your core principle should always be the same. So for instance,
I don't agree.
So for instance, I believe in human rights.
I don't think they should always be the same.
Well, I believe in human rights. I believe in being a humanitarianism, and that will never change. But the way that I demonstrate how those things change can be differed depending on the facts that are given to me and my perception of them. So if I believe that going and giving aid to these things is the best way to be a humanitarian.
So what you're saying is your overarching idea, which is like, I should treat people with decency. But in a situation of like a specific instance where like, say the gender of the bathrooms or whatever, that specific issue, if you are presented information that changes your opinion on that,
you would change
your opinion.
action.
But you wouldn't say, now I'm going to decide that I should treat everybody like shit because of that one action.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is my
so your
point.
overarching values are the same, but you can change your opinion based off of new information that's given to you in general.
Yes, I agree. If your original core values are positive.
I believe that everyone believes that their core values are positive, do they not? Everyone believes that they're a protagonist.
Right, I'm saying...
Not necessarily a good guy.
Right, I'm saying objectively. Like, for me, because I think I'm the good guy, because everybody does, obviously. So... Personally, I think people that are bad, aka people, that rape and kill and all those shitty things that I have no problem saying objectively are awful things because you're taking away from other people, other people's rights and whatnot. I think those people should change. So I don't agree with you that they shouldn't change. I think, yes, it's important to stick to your ideals and to not be wishy-washy, not make the decision lightly or anything like that. I think... Because my core values have changed greatly over the course of my life, and I think for the better. And I think that people should try and make that progress to make themselves better, make them better as a person. My version of better is different from someone else. They may think better is big and strong.
That's exactly what.
Objectively though, like you said, let's say that rapist, or let's say that there's an actual racist or supremacist who believes that wiping out all of Hindi people or Indian. They exist, and you say, well, those people should change. Absolutely, but maybe their core reason of doing it is because they believe that these people are a blight to the humankind, and so they should be taken out. So not their core values should change. Okay, it's a possibility, but I'm saying objectively because you brought Yeah, okay. So let's say that their core value is to say, I'm doing a service by taking these people out. Now, their core value will remain even if you change the way that they go about doing that core value.
I see what you mean. And I
that was
agree
my point.
for 73%. I don't agree.
I like that
I don't
statistic.
agree it's as blanket as you're making it with should. Like, you never should change your core values, because I think there are people with improper core values that probably need to take a look at themselves and go,
I think you
my
should-
core values are awful. I need to change them.
You
So-
should be open to any kind of change, just because the amount of information that you're given at any one moment is never
Enough.
the total amount of information
Never-
to make an informed decision. But that being said,
You don't know what you don't
I
know.
don't think a lot of people do change their core values.
I
agree.
operate-
Whether you should or not, it's not for me to say, because everybody's their own person. But I think a lot of people will always stick with,
Sure.
like, you either care about other people or you don't.
I operate with the assertion that everyone has within them a respect for basic human rights, and how they go about it. You could have that and be Hitler. Is what I'm saying. You can
you're
you can
right.
believe you're being a hero.
You're right, because in
and
Hitler's
be-
mind, he's thinking,
he's
I'm
the
saving
right.
the human race.
And
by
his
doing
core
this.
value was saying, I'm doing everyone a service. I'm helping. And so that's why I say I believe everyone...
Was it really?
No.
Do you know that for sure? It wasn't like, I just
It's
really hate these
speculative.
people
It's
and I want to kill them.
speculative,
Because
but-
there are people that are like that.
I do-
And I
no,
agree
no.
they're the minority. But
No, okay.
I think it's a minority that's kind of...
I can concur that someone can get so wrapped up in the method of what they're trying to get done. But I believe that it started from their core value.
And I think
so
that if
that's
somebody
how I
is
operate.
doing something that is very obviously hateful, even if Hitler didn't think like, I'm doing this as a service, even if he was just like, I'm gonna wipe
Fuck
out
all the
these
Jews.
people because I hate them.
Right.
Like, that's still, I don't know. That's still his.
That was me
He's
quoting
still
Hitler. Not my own feelings.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
apologize.
He still thinks that that's the right thing to do, whether or not he's doing it for one reason
To
or the
better
other,
mankind.
Sure.
Right.
or just
So,
because he thinks.
Can we
that
all
there
agree
should
that
be a
Hitler was that one troll
They're
friend?
ugly. He's the
He kind of
ultimate
was,
troll.
yeah. Yeah, it was like, why are you doing that, Hitler? Come on, dude. You know you're pissing
Classic
everybody off.
Hitler.
It's like, jeez.
Classic
Hit-
Adolf.
so here today we've decided Hitler is the Kirby of real life.
Oh, man. So,
Yes.
fuck you, Sam. Right?
Fuck you, Sam. Yes,
Right.
fuck you,
Yeah,
Sam.
fuck
is
you,
first.
Sam.
Then Kirby is an asshole.
Kirby's an asshole, and then Hitler
Hitler's
is the Kirby of real life. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Cool.
That's fair assessment.
Good way to make a broad, overarching theme. You meant to do that.
I think we all can agree on
Specifically broad
those three
stroke.
things.
A specific broad stroke.
Thank you for listening to Loud, Confused, and Ready. Check down in the description below for any kind of links we talked about today, and also check out our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social medias and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much for listening, and have a pleasant tomorrow.